Alrighty everyone, good morning. Welcome back to another live stream here on the Unknown Code YouTube channel. Whether you're watching this this morning or watching it later, either way, thank you for stopping by. So today we're going to go ahead and continue on working on our goals. I want to set up some mock stuff. That way we can use our mock data that we have here and kind of start tracking some stuff in goals. Now we're going to have to be able to click on one of these like transactions and then have a drop down and have it say like, oh, do this, do this, do that. I don't know if we're going to get to all of that today. I don't know if we're going to get all of that in this specific video that I'm recording, but that's what I want to get to eventually here. Also, I need to figure out what's going on with this component right here. If you guys were in like a different stream like last week, you'd probably saw that this guy like just straight up wasn't working. The text wasn't working, so for some reason the styles in this just break. I don't know why. I don't know what the deal is. It's just literally regular styles. So excuse me, I yawned. I appreciate that. Appreciate you stopping by. So I don't know what's going on with this. I'm gonna do some more research into that, but just know I know there's like an issue with this. I'm trying to figure it out. It seems like it's like a Expo or React Native thing, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep grinding. So hopefully y'all keep enjoying the content. I have some big plans in the future. We'll see if and when they come up. So basically what I was doing before I started this morning, I was kind of looking through figuring out how this works again, because it's been a while since I've actually played with everything. So basically what determines whether or not we see this screen or the other screen is the splash screen controller. And we basically call this fetch user from database from our global context. And then if we go into our global context and look into this fetch user from database, we ask if we're mocking. If we are, we go ahead and call set user. Okay. I don't think whenever we load in transactions, I don't remember how it works, but whenever we load in transactions, I use in development build or Expo Go while debugging. So this is Expo Go. I haven't gotten to the point of doing a development build yet. Still very early stages, still trying to learn and all that good stuff. So definitely not an expert in this stuff. This was basically a chance for me to learn something, because obviously there are already, what are they called? There's already, what's the word for it? Trackers out there to track your finances and spending. I'm like, hey, I want to learn something new. So here's our fetch and persist mock account details. So, transactions. So I think this is where we're doing the transactions. So where do we actually use this at? Fetch and persist. Mock account details. So where is this getting used at? This is used in index. Okay. I'll have to look into that. I'll definitely look into that development build, because I haven't really done too much with this. I just like tried to learn basically React Native, and this is what everyone does, obviously, or what most of the courses teach and the like tutorials show. So yeah, I'll definitely look into that, see if it helps me out and see if it's any better. For now, like Expo Go's done what I wanted to, but I definitely want to get some development builds and stuff going for sure. Okay, so it's used here in index. Outside of here, I'm just refreshing myself here. Okay, so it just comes with the accounts. Okay, so we're not actually grabbing any new transactions or anything with our mocks. That's fine. Okay, so basically let's do this, and I'm assuming whenever we, so this is just going on to the user state. Okay, so we can just update the user state whenever we do mocks, update the stuff for the mocks. So I'm basically just using mocks right now because I'm using a API called Teller to fetch the account information, and I'm not ready to connect my real bank account yet. And the mock or the data that you get from Teller whenever you're using their sandbox is very random and sometimes doesn't make very much sense for like the transactions and stuff like that. So I just set up a mock environment to kind of have some mock transactions to play with. So I think we go ahead and start working on this. So right now for our mocks, I just have these JSONs. I'm gonna go ahead and make a goals.json, I think, like so. And what we'll go ahead and do is we'll need to make another component similar to this for goals. And this is not how this is gonna end up looking like at the end. I kind of have a little bit of a Figma design setup. This is more or less just trying to get everything working at this point. So we'll probably make like some sort of progress bar or something at the end of the day. But now if we go into our goals, basically all we have in here is just have an object, and then how do we do this? So basically have object, and then we can go ahead and just say, whoops, maybe, and we'll just say goals, have an object, and then in here, what we do is we just have a bunch of objects. So let's just go ahead and say like savings goal, maybe. And this will be like a monthly savings goal or something. Or maybe we do like a, yeah, we'll just say, or I'm gonna say a termed savings goal. That way we have like, I want a termed one and I want like a recurring one. And then we can maybe have like a recurring spending goal, which is going to be a little bit harder to track because the way we have the dates set up. And maybe I could figure out a way to like make the dates kind of go backwards. That'd be kind of cool. Like a month or two or something, and then that'd be spending, and then maybe do like maybe another like termed debt goal. Maybe we want to try to pay off a student loan by X amount of days or something. Okay, so and then here we just have this stuff. Probably could have called this mock goal 1, mock goal 2. But I don't think it matters because we're just going to be like looking at these basically. So now what we do is we come into our DB schema, and I'm just going to copy this because I'm lazy. Let's go ahead and yoink this and paste this guy in here into our goals.json. Paste that in. So ID will be goal 1. And let's make this an actual JSON. So ID will be 1. And then we'll go ahead and try to work on like displaying this today. So name will go ahead and be like new car savings or something. So we'll try to save for a new car. The amount, let's just say like 1,000 or something. And I think you had to make this a string the way this works. Whenever you want, we can try 1,000, see what happens, but I think this might need to end up being a string. Start date will be today, so just say new date, or actually we can't just say new date, so we might have to map these. This can't be null right now. Let's just add a random date in here. We'll just say 2-4 for 2026-2-24 or 4. Hopefully that's the right date. End date, let's go ahead and say like in a month or two or something. Let's just say 2026 slash and then 04-30 or something at the end of April. Type So now type is a goal type. So this is going to be savings, obviously. So savings. Hopefully this is the correct date format. I don't remember. Here, recurring is going to be false. So go ahead and put false in here. Very riveting content, I know. Occurrence type is going to be doesn't matter because recurring is false, so we can just put weekly here by default. Let's go ahead and do that. Weekly. And then finally, our user ID is going to be 1. Go ahead and deal with that. Okay, so there's our termed savings goal. Now we can copy this and paste it in, and we're probably gonna need like a savings or like a goal service to kind of go through and track all this stuff. We'll deal with that. So 2, and we'll say like weekly spending budget or something. Weekly spending budget, and let's just say this is like your normal like weekly groceries, shopping, stuff like that you have to do on a weekly basis. So like not like stuff you would spend every week. So start date would be today, end date would be never, basically. So I think end date can, be null. Let's double check our DB. I think end date can be null, but start date cannot be null. That's correct. Okay. Then I'll probably remap this to like so that it starts on the day. Here, this type is going to be budget, I think. I need to double check the types real quick. Whoops. Let me double check the types real quick. So types budget, that's correct. Okay. And then here, recurring will be true because it's a recurring one. Will recur weekly. Okay. And then maybe I do want another one. I don't know. We'll see. Copy this and then paste this in. This will be goal ID 3, and then this one will be pay off student loans or something. So, and let's say, one sec, hold that thought, 4,000, end date, let's say like 2026/12/31 maybe. This one will be debt. Oops. And recurring is false. And then this doesn't matter. So the only like benefit, it's all personal preference, right? What I like personally about Vim is, one, it's very lightweight to start. So you don't have a bunch of resources and stuff, because whenever you like use VS Code, you're basically opening up another Chrome browser. Because VS Code is, I'm fairly certain, built, it might not be anymore, but it used to be built out of like React, basically. And the primary reason that I actually switched was because my typing skills were worse than they are now. So whenever you're on VS Code, your hands basically stay on the keyboard 24/7. More or less. So my goal was to try to get better at using a keyboard. Obviously, since I use a keyboard every day, whenever I was like in middle school and high school typing classes, I didn't take them seriously, so I never got that great on the keyboard. So the entire reason I went to Vim was just to get better on the keyboard. I've been using Vim since, let me go back. I have a YouTube video on how to set up my Vim configuration. So I can tell you like basically exactly when I started using Vim. Let's see here. So if I go, and it's still like one of my highest performing videos. So, go to my details. So this video was uploaded. I don't know why it's so hard to figure out when it was uploaded from the YouTube studio. So I have a YouTube video on how to set up Vim. So it says 1 year ago. I don't know if it has the exact date that it was uploaded. So it would have been obviously a little bit longer than a year ago because I went through and set up my Vim personally and then used it for a while and then set everything up. So this says a year ago. I don't know if there's a way to actually check when this went public. Let me look. Since published, it published May 20th, excuse me, May 20th, 2024. So this was, I started working on this for using Vim probably in like March 2024. So going on 2 years now. I'm still not like a master at it or anything, but it has helped me a lot with just being able to type a lot better. Which was like which was the entire reason that I actually got into using Vim in the first place. It has its downsides, especially on Windows. Like if I was on a Mac, it would make a lot more sense. But since I'm on Windows, I have to use a virtual machine, basically, or Windows subsystem for Linux, which makes using like Expo Go and doing Expo-based React Native applications a little bit more complicated because of all of the firewalls and all of that stuff because of the virtual machine, so on and so forth. But I think it's benefited me. Do you have a day job as a programmer, if you don't mind me asking? Because I have one, and every time I left for work, that's the only time I could upskill. Yeah, so I also work as a software engineer, and it's basically the same thing. That's why, like, I live stream in the mornings and stuff and get up early, because it's basically the same thing. It's more or less the only time I also have to upscale, which sucks. But what can you do? We used to have some power up time on like Friday. On Fridays to be able to work on like stuff like this, but that kind of got taken away. I don't know that it was people abusing it or anything. But like it just got basically taken away. So yeah, this is the only time I have to basically do this. I work out of Eastern time zone, but I live in Texas. So like I at least like have time like between 4 and 5 o'clock if I wanted to like upskill every night. But that typically doesn't happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw goals above user or accounts maybe. Actually, goals can go down here. On's goals is equal to, and then we'll go ahead. I need to bring this in. But yeah, I also feel that pain. Like it's very hard to upskill. That's why I'm like working on this project, and I have some other, but also why I originally started Let's Build Twitter as well, to try to do some new stuff. Import goals from /assets /mocks /goals.json. Okay, and then goals will be, maybe I call this mock goals. Maybe. So you wouldn't even know that I have gotten better at typing. Equal to mock goals. There you go. Okay. What tech stack usually used, or what are the tech stacks usually used at work and other comp orgs in the area? Because here in mine, vanilla, PHP, Laravel. You prefer and love Mern stack? Okay. Yeah, I don't mind Mern stack. I don't love MongoDB as a database, to be honest. I do prefer the I prefer like relational databases. So typically standard your standard like relational database nowadays and like enterprise level is going to be Postgres. That's kind of like what I work with or used to work with. And then I work for automotive in the automotive industry, and our company is a Java based, and it was Angular was the primary focus. A lot of people are switching over to React we're kind of like the, I don't want to say premier, but we're kind of like the gold standard for React teams. So we get consulted a lot whenever there's some other teams, and there goes the styles again. We get consulted a lot whenever we work on like other teams and organizations inside of the company switch over to React. So I prefer like the Java Spring Boot side of things, and typically React, and either React with Redux is what I use for like personal projects. Personally, we use Context, but our app was also built during a time where Redux was not as nice to work with, so Context was just easier to work with. And then we also use SCSS for our styles and stuff. So, but yeah, I use React. I used to work backend, but now I just work primarily on the front end. We also have a BFF made out of Nest.js, which is like a Node.js framework that I don't really develop on too much, but our team is in charge of, so I take a look at it every once in a while, try to find bugs and all of that stuff. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So now what we need to go ahead and do is I need to map these. So this gets a specific account. So basically I want to map through each key. So what do we want to do here? So let's do this. The question is, do I want to make another function to deal with this or not? I don't know if I want to. I think we'll just do this. I think we'll come in here and we'll say const and goals equal to, and this will be a do we say schema like this? Whoops, can't type. Schema dot goal array equal to, and then how do we want to do this? We'll do that, I guess. We want to say for goal, and then schema dot goal. Okay, why are we mad at this? I might just say one of these, schema dot goal, and that's mad at us. That's fine. We'll deal with this. Oh, where do you deploy Spring Boot? We deploy them on we use GCP. Cannot find name goal. Oh, we have to say let goal. And we might have to do some ugly stuff here. And this is in mock goals. And this is a schema.goal. We might have to do some yucky stuff here, because it's probably going to say like it doesn't know. So that's not mad at us yet, it's just mad that we're not using it. That's fine. So then what we'll go ahead and do is, yeah, and Postgres is very easy to learn for the most part. Mongo isn't hard, but I don't know, I feel like the ORM tools and stuff aren't as good as like using relational database ORMs. So now we have our goals. We're gonna go ahead and say goal dot start date, or we're gonna say goal is equal to goal. I'm gonna set the start date. Whoops, start date to a new date. just today. And then we're gonna go and say goals dot push, and we're gonna hope that this works. We're gonna go ahead and push that goal. Yep, I figured that was gonna be mad at us. So now goals mad at us because we're going to do something like this as schema dot goal array or something similar. Okay, so that fixed that issue. Now let's see what this one is. Argument type string implicitly has any, so those ones are fine. Thread types may only be created something. And we'd want to do like dot 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 goals. And I don't know if this is actually breaking the app or if it just thinks that we don't have like a goal, right? Let's see. So did I do anything crazy here? No, we just set these. You know what? It's not actually using the goals here. So this goals is coming from, this should be called goals. And now we need to call this like, whoops, mapped goals. Then we can go ahead and say mapped goals dot push. Whoops. I could type. It's still mad at us here, but I don't know that's actually breaking anything. Yeah. Let's try this. Yep, I figured that was gonna happen. TypeScript and me go way back as enemies. Whoops. So I don't know if I'm gonna win this battle today. I might just let it win for now. And I'm just gonna check to make sure it works, and then I'll come back and fix it later because I don't want to deal with it. But good morning. I know for a fact that this is in here, and that's fine. Now the thing is, let's see. No, yeah, we literally straight up use those. Those are fine. Trying to see how we dealt with this. So that one we just said as. So we might have to do something similar to this instead. But the problem is transactions I think are slightly different. And I don't see the need to. Yeah, because this is like a list of transactions. I mean, I could do the same thing, I guess. I could make this an array and do something similar. Assuming that I don't scuff this like I just did. I might go ahead and do, yeah, now it's really mad. That's fine. I think that's fine. And then now these don't need names. Really, I don't really care about this part. This probably would make my life easier doing it this way anyway. Okay, so now we have our goals and go back in our mock server. So I'll just do something similar to this. Come below here. Const. And how do we want to do this? We already have our goals. Oh, and I screwed this up. So say const and I don't want to call it mapped goals, but I might have to. I might say date mapped goals because that's really what we're trying to do. Equal to, and then we'll say goals dot, and then, ooh, I don't love that. Let's say goals dot map each goal, do this, and then we can say as schema dot goal array. Okay, let's see. And did I not call that goals? Now let's double check this. We can clean this up for now. We'll get it fixed. Maybe. Okay, so now when I work with Java and TypeScript, I try to keep. Yeah, I mean, I don't like classes in TypeScript though. That's the only thing. Like, I see where you're coming from, but I don't know. Goals. Oh, it's because we already have mock goals. That's why. Okay, we can just say mock goals. And honestly, like, this is probably overkill. Whoops. Dot. Okay, do this. And we can just say goals.map, I guess. Okay, now it's mad at us because we're not returning anything, obviously. So now we can go ahead and return goal, and then we'll go ahead and say start date is going to be a new date. And then now let's see. Unknown conversion. Let's see what we did here. So this part was fine. Do I need to? Don't think I should have to replace that. Let's see. The signed but never declared, that's fine. Cannot convert start date. It's probably wants it as a string, huh? Dot to, I don't know if I call it to ISO string or not. No, it's still mad at me. This is why I love TypeScript. I think it's technically working. This is the downside to using NeoVim. Okay, these ones are whatever, I don't care. Goals.map goal, and it's going to return a schema.goal, whoops, goal array. Okay. So it does not like this. We just return goal. So this was not being an issue with transaction. Double check transaction. I'm pretty sure we have transactions set up the same. We have transactions, and we just have these goals, and we just have these. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and go back to our mock service. So this is set up the exact same. Don't deal with this. Date mapped goals. We have this. We have const today is equal to this. And then we have this. But that is a string. But either way, it does not like this goal. Less mad. That's fine. We probably have to do some sort of persuasion here, would be my guess, that I don't really feel like doing right now. I'm curious why the transaction is fine though. Let's see. Yeah, so they say we could probably do something like this instead. If we do this and come down here. I know this is a disaster, but you know what? I don't care. Sometimes things are just a disaster. Dot map. Okay. Map a goal. And then this should be as schema dot goal array. This is basically exactly how we're doing the rest of these. Whoops. Now it's probably mad at us because we're not returning anything. Now it's mad at us because of other stuff. So this is basically set up the exact same we have these. So mock this, mock transactions dot map, and then return this as this. So now say const today equal to a new date, and then I think we want to turn this into like an ISO string. Return dot goal. I'm just gonna ignore the type errors for now, and I'll fix them in a second. And then start date is going to be today dot. We could probably do to ISO string and be fine. So like this is just like a type error, I believe. I think that the goals are still getting set. Like if I said like dot goals here, and if I just ignore this for the time being, I know that it's a type error. I'll figure out what's going on in a second. Like it makes me wonder if I did const I'm gonna turn this back to date mapped goals, and it's just being a pain in the ass also because it's coming from a JSON file. Is equal to mock goals dot goals, and we can say that this is a schema dot goal array. The mock goals dot goals as schema dot goal array. Okay, now this is mad at us because of things. So yeah, now this part's fixed. Now this part's fine, so that's cool. We can go ahead and say date mapped goals. So we got one type error out of the way. And now I've looked at goals so much that it doesn't look like it's real. So now we'd have to deal with getting this to actually work properly. So like, I don't know how we got user and connections to work. Because we literally just said connections dot mock account underscore 1. Like, I don't know if it thinks that, because there shouldn't be like another dot goals or anything. Yeah, there's not. Just mock goals dot whatever. And if we were to come in here and do this and console.log the goals, console log that, and then go into our our app index, and that's already there, I guess. So like in theory, so we have that should be, I don't know why it's trying to create a table. That's fine. I'm just gonna ignore that because we're not using the database right now. Although it's kind of concerning. Let's see, user goals. Yeah, so our goals are there. I don't know why it's trying to create tables. That's kind of concerning, but dealing with mocking stuff. So our goals are in the user. So this is getting set. So we have our goals. So I'm just going to leave it at that and ignore it, and I'll figure out how to deal with the stupid type errors later because this is working. Now, what we probably need to do is, let me think here. We probably need like a straight up like what's it called? Probably need like a straight up like util for goals specifically, or like a service for goals to kind of like keep track of everything. But for now, let's just like slap some goals on the screen and kind of see what's going on, and then maybe we can try to figure out how to get a bar, excuse me, that'll actually work. So in our index, this is really messy, and we're gonna clean this up at some point whenever we go through and actually like have everything working. But let's see. So we have welcome user, that's fine, and it's just ugly. We have our loading indicator. We map through all the accounts, and then we have a link another account. We have the spinning overview, which is broken, and then we have our transactions. So I think above our transactions, we just have like a text, and we map through the goals. So goals here, okay, and then below that we'll have, and this should probably be like a scroll view or something, but we'll just have a view, and inside the view we'll have our goals. So we can say user question mark dot and then goals, like so. And maybe we want to do something similar to this flat list again. User goals question mark dot length is greater than 0. And then we'll throw a flat list in here, and this is like, we'll want to make this into its like own section, but for now I just want to go ahead and like see some goals showing up basically, and this is a flat list of schema.goal. Okay, and then come in here, we'll say data is equal to user.goals, which is already on there. We'll have our render item, and then for now we'll just go ahead and do this, have our item, and do one of these, open this up, and we're just going to go ahead and return this ugly, return a view for now, and inside the view we'll have a text, and then we'll say item dot name. That's kind of gross. We might want to extract that or something, I don't know. But we'll say name for now, and that's fine. And then what else do we need for this guy? Let's also close this flat list really quick. Okay, and then we also need a key extractor. I'll go ahead and do that as well. Copy this. So once again, all of this is going to be extracted at some point. I'm trying not to do too much crazy stuff right now, just because what's going to happen eventually is I'm going to we're going to basically like do like a design system type thing here, and we're going to build a bunch of components that are reusable, and I'm going to be undoing everything. I would really love to know why the styles just stopped working inside the spinning overview component. Like, I think the styles container is still there, but the title's gone. Like, this is literally just a const styles equals style sheet dot create. And like, no matter what you do, if I like hit like R to reload the app, one, it might break, I guess. Interesting. Yeah, the styles are still not there, so I don't know why the styles are just straight up like going away. But if I like got rid of the styles, we obviously need the styles on this guy, but if I like got rid of, let's see, maybe the title, if I get rid of this title, this style, then this style. Still gone. And also having some interesting issues. Like, why is this text not here? Right? Like, why do we not have text here? It has something to do with the styles.container. If we do that, now it's fine again. Like, the styles container is like breaking stuff. Makes me wonder if I just take out this styles container and get rid of this. I wonder if it's just going to continue working. Okay. Whatever, I don't really care at this point. So now the question is... We have our components, right? And like, I'm planning to put like our goal related stuff inside this components folder, or this goals component folder. I don't know if that's like good practice or bad practice for React Native, but it is what it is. But basically now we need to set up like a goal component, like a goal card, or like a goal, what's it called? Like a goal tracker or something component, and like have everything in there that we need. And again, I don't want to get too crazy because like we're going to create like a card component that goes through and like does whatever. So maybe what we do, and we also need a way to like track, which we need to work with the transactions. But maybe we say goal, and then let's go ahead and say like goal card or goal tracking card or something .tsx. Okay, and then inside of our goal tracking card, I always forget how to set these up, and I froze my computer. Hello? There we go. Okay, we just need to import just do export const. Cool. So export const goal tracking card will be a react.fc. We might need to send some data in. So we'll deal with that in a second. So we can say export interface and then goal tracking card props. So we probably want the goal for sure. So this will be a schema. We need to go ahead and import schema.goal. Let's go ahead and import, and then schema as star from dot slash or at slash db slash schema or something like that. I don't remember how we deal with this. Let me see. I'm rusty, I'm sorry y'all. Okay. Go. Be lowercase schema, fair enough. Then we have this component where we can go ahead and pass in that goal tracking card props, and then go ahead and pass in the goal that we're tracking. Okay, return a view, view, and import that view. This will have a style on it. We'll deal with that in a second. So this is going to be basically broken up into a couple pieces here. So we'll have like the left side content. So this will be like the leading content, and then we'll have, so actually we'll have a top. So I'm just gonna make some annotations maybe. No, I can't, just kidding. We can probably do it like this. So we'll have a top component. I'm just adding some annotations here so we kind of know what the vision is. So the top area. So the top area will have the like icon and the name, and then like the goal amount and current or something. Goal current and goal amount. Like how much have we spent, how much have we saved, and what's the goal. And then we have a view. Let's also annotate this just to see the vision. So this one is going to be like the tracking bar area, right? So basically we'll have these stacked areas, and then this will be, this top area will be a what's it called? This top area will be kind of like flex row, where it's kind of spaced out, and then this one will just take up the entire area. Now inside this view, I have another view, and this will kind of be like the leading icon, and this should probably be an image, but I don't have the image. So let's see. I don't know if it's called image. I think it's called image. It needs a source probably. But this is like the leading icon here. And we don't have these images, but like this will be based on what the goal is. So we maybe have a map of like the different images. So we have like a savings, whatever. And we might want like a placeholder image here. So I think if we go into our assets and images, yeah, so we have these. Let's see if we can't find like a placeholder image. Placeholder image. I don't know how big it's supposed to be. Do images. Is there any good ones here? Like this one's fine. Very pixelated though. Might just grab this one. Doesn't really matter if it's pixelated. Save image as so WebP though, of course it is. Is this one also WebP? Of course. Try to find a PNG. And basically what I'd want to do is go through and find like a stock image that's like free to use type situation. What about you? Are you a WebP? Of course it is. Let's go to image. Let's just look up free stock photos real quick, and I'll find a placeholder there. Free stock images. Or vector images maybe. And then I don't remember where I got the ones. Must have been here. Find a placeholder image, because I have some ones that are like money based. What backend am I using? So I don't necessarily have a backend. I have like a server that talks to my banking API, which is using Nest.js, but other than that, I don't really have a backend. This is all going to be front end. I'm using a what's it called? Now I'm blanking. Oh my goodness, I can't think. I'm using a SQLite database. That's the word I was looking for. On the front, in what's it called? React Native Expo. Why can I not find a decent free stock, oops, placeholder image. I don't know why I can't find a dang placeholder image. That's not a WebP. I might just have to convert this. They're all WebPs. Whatever, I'll just convert this. So let's see, WebP to PNG. I'll just convert this real quick, I guess. Select file from computer. Downloads. And then we're gonna call it placeholder. Okay. And let me move this over real quick. Downloads, placeholder. And let me move this into our development area. Let's see. Where'd it go? Freedom tracker, UI, assets, images. I'm going to look up how to do this again. I haven't used an image in a while. And delete this one. Okay, now we have a placeholder image. Now I think if we go into setup, I use an image in here. Let's see. I think, but I don't remember. Setup goal cards. I thought I used an image. Image, there we go. I'm gonna yoink this real quick. Go into our goal tracking. And paste this in here. And then here, this is gonna be assets slash images slash and then place folder.png. We don't have a styles, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do this for now. Now we probably do want a style on that, but it is what it is. Can we clean this? Oh, and I broke it. Cool. Okay, so that's the first part. We have our thing here, and I could probably style this. So this image, we're thinking 48 by 48. Const styles is equal to create style sheet. And I might need to import this. Let's see if I can't import this. Let's see. I'm doing something wrong here. I thought it was called create style sheet, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's just called style sheet. Let's see here. About to go grab some more coffee. Oh, style sheet.create. Okay. Equal to style sheet.create. Fix this. Okay. Now we can import. We might need to import style sheet to make this happy. Oops. Style sheet. There we go. Okay. Now we have our style is going to be equal to, and this is going to have to be dependent on like what type it is, but for now we're just going to go ahead and say goal tracking card leading image, I guess. And this needs to be styles dot. There we go. And then we can go ahead and have our goal tracking card leading image. Okay, and width will be 48. height will be 48, and then maybe we see how we dealt with this. But first, let's go into our index, and let's actually go ahead and render this. So we need to go ahead and render our goal tracking card, and the goal will equal to item, I believe is what it needs. We might need a key on this, I don't know, but I think the key extractor might take care of it for me. Okay, and then now this is mad at me. Cannot resolve something. I don't know what it can't resolve. What's it say? Cannot resolve goal tracking card. None of these files exist. Placeholder.png. Okay, it's mad at us about placeholder.png. Let's deal with that. Do I need to import this? Let's see. If we go into assets, placeholder.png is literally right there. So what do you mean? Goal tracking card. It might not be ..assets. It might need to be ../, and then assets / images / placeholder .png. I need to go a little bit farther. Okay, cool. So there's our goals. Resize modes contain. What other options we have? What if we do cover? That looks better. Perfect. And we have our placeholders. Okay. And then now we need like the gold name. So our leading image. And then we're gonna need another view. So this is gonna be like the content or the maybe. This will be like the goal information, maybe. Is what this area is gonna be. So here we'll have we need like a top and bottom in this. So here we'll just have the text, and this is gonna be the goal.name. And let's make sure we do this right. So goal.name. And then we'll have another view. And then this is gonna be let's see here. So then we'll have here, we'll have text, and then this will be like, probably shouldn't say $. I don't know how we deal with the viewing the transactions here. Also don't know what this problem is. We might need to import this. Maybe. There we go. I don't know how we deal with the transactions. Whenever we're displaying the transactions. I think that we are using money somehow, but I don't remember. It's been a while. So if we go onto our index page, when we're flat mapping this, no, we just have $. So we probably should not just put $, but it is what it is. So our goal tracking card will say $. So this is like so this is where we're going to do some logic to like actually figure out like how much we have done for this goal. So basically we need to loop through the transactions and then determine like which ones are which transactions go to each goal or go to the specific goal, and then go from there. So we can't quite do this one yet. What we can do is we can just say like XXX maybe, $, and then here text, and we need to format money, so we'll have to deal with that to be able to basically add the commas and all that stuff. So this would be $, like X, comma XXX or something, right? Like we have, whoops. So this is basically like if this is a savings goal, we have saved this much money out of this much money this week, whatever. Right? Okay, so now we have new car savings, weekly spending budget, whatever. So we've spent so much money out of X amount of money. So this one would actually be like $, goal dot amount. And then we'd also want to check to see if the date is like past the goal date. And then ignore those. So we also would want to do a little extra logic and filter the goals before we actually do this. Which I don't know if we can just like return null or something, but we need to work on that logic. Or if we just like map them, whatever. Right, and then we'd have the tracking bar. Which the tracking bar is gonna have to like have different colors based on if you are trying to save or trying to like do whatever, right? So there's that. So now what we kind of need to do is one, we need to make like a tracking bar component. And the question is, do we just build it in here or do we not just build it in here? Let's see. I don't think we can do too much with the tracking bar right now is the issue. So the tracking bar, we might literally just do one of these. And just put a style on it and like display it or something. Okay, so we've had some very good luck dealing with trying to style these, so that's gonna be fun. Let's go ahead and say style, goal, tracking, card. Okay, so for goal tracking card, let's say width is 100%. Then we need to do this. Width was 100%. Okay, we'll have some padding on it of like 8 pixels or something. And let's make sure we do this. And let's just make sure this doesn't break anything. And let's make sure we say styles dot goal tracking card, and we don't need this double. Do that. There we go. Now we have styles dot goal tracking card, and just breaks everything. I love to see it. I really don't know why the spinning overview can't get its life together. If I say styles.spinning overview, styles.overview, because it doesn't have a height or something. Oops. It's not like height. Why do you not like height? What's the problem there? That's strange. Height. Auto. If we say height 96. Nothing. Overview is being used, right? Yeah. Height's not doing shit. I love to see it, bro. I don't know why this stupid component like just refuses to work. Now it's working again. Is it the flex? Not the flex. Not the padding. This whole styling is trash. I hate styling in this. Like, is it the flex? Like, oops. Like, is it the flex is the question. So if we say Put horizontal padding back on it. We'll just say padding. Huh. So is it the flex? Maybe it's the flex, I don't know. Anyway, go back to goal tracking card. So goal tracking card, we have a little bit of padding, we have a little bit of width. We have our 48 by 48 here. Okay. I don't want to go too crazy on this. Just because like I'm not trying to like style it too crazy. So now this top part, style equal to styles dot goal tracking card, and we'll call this I want to call it information, or I don't know that I want to call it content, because I'm going to call it information. Let's go ahead and say goal tracking card information. Once again, width will be 100%. We're going to display flex this. We're going to flex direction. Direction is going to be row. And I don't think we need to like, we can try to justify content. Flex start and align item center and see what it looks like. I think that looks okay. And then let's throw a gap on this. The gap, let's see if I could see what the gap's supposed to be. Gap of 16. And of course I just undid something on accident. I'm looking at my I'm looking on the side at like my Figma design here. Okay. The image should have like rounded edges. So let's see, leading image. Let's rearrange these here. So let's put this on top. Put this here. Okay. So let's see if we can say border width is 0, but a border radius of, see if I can find the border radius, 8. Okay, looks good. And then what we do is here, I don't know that this needs, and we can display flex this just to add some gap. I don't know that it needs too much gap. We can do that, I guess. So style equal to styles dot goal tracking card, and then this will be see, now we already have information. Maybe information text. I don't like that either. Information content maybe. Goal tracking card, and this is information content. And then once again, width will be 100, and we'll go ahead and display flex this. And by default, this will be in the column, so we should be fine. Then have a gap, and let's see what the gap's supposed to be. The gap doesn't show what the gap is on this. So we might just gap this at like 8 and see what it looks like. Syntax error. Oh, oopsie daisies. Forgot to get rid of the double. There we go. So like, it looks kind of finicky right now, but we'll deal with that in a second. So now this guy, So now for the goal tracking card and name. So now we have a font size of 20 and a line height of 24. And I don't know what the thickness is. Let's see. Semi-bold, which is, I'm assuming, like 600. And then font, weight 600. Oops, spelled weight wrong. I didn't do anything because I need to add it. Now we have our style equal to styles.goal tracking card name. Okay, so that width is not taking up. Why is it being like that? Width should be able to take up 100%. I don't know why it's not taking up 100%. Let's see. Is this guy information content? I mean, maybe we don't need this. Oh, it's because this is only 100. This needs to be 100%. Only 100 pixels wide right now. Undo this. Make sure we put 100% on this. 100%. Whoops. Much better. Okay. And we might not need the gap because of the line height. And then now what we do is we do the progress. So style equal to styles.goal tracking card information progress, maybe, or information amounts, maybe. I'm horrible at naming CSS. Goal tracking card information information tracking amounts. Once again, width will be 100%. Let's make sure we do this right. 100%. And then display will be flex, except this time we want a flex direction, and it needs to be flex direction. It's going to be row, and we're going to justify content space between, and we'll align items in the center again. Then that should, okay, I typoed something, because that should have, double check this. Yep, typoed something here. Oh, whoops. Because we actually don't want the extra tracking there. Let's get rid of the extra tracking. Okay, so now we lost. Interesting. It's off our screen for some reason. Can I scroll this sideways? No, why did that go off our screen? Huh. I love this. This is so fun. Maybe we don't want width 100% on this. Maybe we want width like... We want 100% of the parent, though. Content. Shouldn't be 100%, I don't think. Content should be, I don't know if we can do calc. I think maybe it's because goal tracking card should be 100%. Information should be 100%. Tracking content should probably be less than 100%. Like 80%. Hey, it's back. Really what it should be is our height and width are 48%. So what it really should be is like calc 100% minus 48 plus 16. I don't know if this works. Calc 100% minus 48 plus 16, whatever that is. I can't calculate. Cannot compute. 48 plus 16. 64 minus 64 px. I don't know if this works. Yeah. React native style use with calc. See if there's a way to do this. Okay, so this doesn't work, so we have to just guess, which I don't like. So I mean, we get rid of height, and we could say that the width is 20%, and then this is 80, and we can just see what this looks like. Height auto. Okay, cool, that didn't work. So I can't do height. I can do height 100%. Okay, so that's a bit big. Do 15%. Still a bit big, 12%. Looks good. So now we can say that. Looks pretty good actually. And then what we can do is come over here, and now instead of 80%, we can say 88%. Okay, let's not do 88%. Let's leave some space then, since it isn't going to respect this. So if we do 80, I think was too much though. That's definitely more than like 8 pixels. 86%. 84%. Probably a bit too much as well. 82 is probably not perfect. But it's better than nothing. Okay. And then let's see here. So then we have, so the thing about this guy is we're going to do something like this, right? We're going to calculate the color of this. So for now, it's going to say styles.goal tracking card. And this will be, I don't want to call it progress. We can call it progress text, I guess, and that's fine. Goal tracking card progress text. And then this is going to be body medium, which is 16 and 20. So now I don't think we need width on this now. I think we fixed this issue. Yeah, okay. I have this broken right now, but that's fine. Dial. That, okay. Yep, that's fine now. Okay, so now our text is going to be font size of 16. We're gonna have a line height of line height's gonna be 20, and font weight is probably regular. I wonder if I can just use these. So if I click on this guy, and yeah, regular. I probably could like click on what regular is as well, but go ahead and say regular. And I could probably go here and say semi-bold and be fine as well. Except semi-bold is not bold enough. I'm going to move this back to 600. 600 looks better. Should be a little bit thicker. So now we have this. And the thing is with this goal tracking text, once we start actually tracking the goals, we're going to basically display like what color this should be. So like it's going to be based off like percentage of the goal and what type of goal it is. So if it's weekly spending and we're like 50%, it'll be an orange color. For 75%, it'll be like a red color, so on and so forth. So we need to deal with that, but we'll deal with that in a second or later. And then finally, we'll have our goal tracking card and amount text. And then here it would be the same thing. So I mean, I probably could have just called this the same thing. I'm just going to call this amount text and get rid of this one, and then rename the one up there, both of these up there, to amount text. So here, goal tracking, amount text, same thing here. This one will be whatever color, tracking card amount text. So this one is just going to be like green or whatever color, or white, because on dark mode, so on and so forth. But that's what we'll do there. So there's our goals. Looks fine. Now tracking them is going to be more difficult, because what we're going to do is we need a transaction card, which I have an example of somewhere. Thought I might not have a transaction card. Never mind, I don't have a transaction card. Didn't get that far, I don't think. Just have bank accounts and stuff. Okay, so I don't actually have a transaction card. I just have like setting up accounts and stuff. Oh wait, no, I do have transaction. Okay. So yeah, so the transaction card is going to be a little bit more difficult. And we're not going to have time to like really work on a transaction card. Let's go ahead and do the tracking bar for now. We'll say style equal to, and then here we'll say styles dot goal tracking card progress bar. Okay, and then we'll do this goal tracking card progress bar. This also is going to need some work with 100%. So we'll deal with that later. The height of this guy is going to be, let's see. So height is 18 pixels. 18px. Make sure we do this. 18px. It's going to have, whoops, a border width of 0. It's going to have a border radius of 9px. We can just say 18 on this, right? 18. Okay, border radius of 9. And then maybe we do a background color on it of slightly different, just so we can see it. So we'll just say like gray, so we can see what's going on here. Okay. So then we'd have like a tracking card, and we probably want a gap under this. So we have padding on this, and I'm terrified to deal with this stuff. But I will go ahead and throw display flex on this, just to have a small gap. Maybe display flex and gap. Oh my goodness. And this gap is, let me double check this. Click on this guy. What is our gap here? Can't see. Gap is 12. So then we'd have this. So I can't tell if that's like perfect or not. I'm sure it's fine. This is 100%. So then you can kind of imagine here, what's going to happen is we'll have like another bar on the inside of this that kind of like knows how much, like knows the percentage. So like, let's say for new car savings this month, we go through and we have the transactions for this month. And it's like, okay, so we put this much money into it, and what we need to do is be able to like click on one of these transactions and be like, okay, assign this transaction to this goal. And then what we do is, I don't know how this is going to work 100%. We'd probably have to update the transactions table maybe. We might need to make a transaction. So what we probably will end up needing to do is in our schema, we'll probably need to make a transaction. We have tracked. Probably not going to work. What we're going to have to do, I don't know how this is going to work in the context of mocking. But basically, we're probably going to make a junction table and add them into that junction table. And then I guess for mocks, we're just going to have to just have some like, I don't know, mock stuff. But yeah, so that's going to be that. We can't do too much more with goals until we update the transactions, and the transactions are going to be a hefty overhaul. If I look at our transactions, I mean, we can work on a transaction card really quick, but I didn't want to expand that far from here. Like, this is kind of what I want to work on in this video that I want to upload. So what do we want to do? Gotta think about what we want to do here. I mean, we could try to source some images, but that's not going to be very fun on stream. Oops. Not do that. Also, we probably want this entire thing to be scrollable rather than just the transactions, but again, that is what it is. So yeah, so it's either I gotta think about what I want to do. I might cut this stream short to think about how I want to handle this. Because if we're gonna get into messing with transactions again, we need to make like a new table to deal with that and some other stuff. new type and all of that stuff as well. So yeah, I think we might just cut stream off early here so I can start working on putting together this video. And then we'll kind of come back and start working on tracking the goals and the transactions, because that's going to be a lot of work. We need to make a new transaction component, and then we need to make it so we can actually link them and all that stuff. So basically in the video that I'll upload next, we have working mocks now, and we have the goal information set up, new goal stuff set up, and then to be able to track it, we'll have to do some other stuff and set up a whole bunch of stuff. But like the issue is tracking it. I mean, we have this tracked here, but that's not going to help us much. What we really need to do is have like a table, a junction table called goal whatever. But one thing we can do really quick is inside of our index and our flat list, I don't know if this will be mad at us. But I want to check if item.item.endDate question mark, or if there's an end date, and we need to see if the end date's after today. Like, I don't remember how we compare dates. Let's see. So we'd want to do something like const today is equal to new date, right? And then we'd want to say const end date is equal to item.item question mark dot end date. And then we'd want to check like if end date, and let me see, I forget how we do this. JavaScript compare dates. So we can say if today is greater than end date. If it's equal to, that's fine. Can we just return null? Is that going to break? Do this. If end date, we say this, a new date, pass end date. There we go. Return null. Okay, interesting. So the, oops, it says that the goal, so it did work, but it didn't work the way that I expected it to. So something is up with here. Go into our mocks. Oh, this isn't a string. Like this one's fine. Why is this one not fine? So new car savings is fine. So why is the new car savings fine, but the other one not? Now it's back. Okay. Cool. That was just one. That one wasn't a string. That's why. So now, whoops. Go back in the freedom tracker. They're all there. So now let's say that the start date is this. Start date was like 1 or like 2025 12/4, and the end date was 2026 1/30. We save this and refresh. In theory, new car saving shouldn't be there. Okay, why is this not working? So now it's just straight up not working. So end date from here, go to our goal tracking card. Actually, no, our index. Let's see what's going on here. So today, let's see here. Console.log and today, comma, new date, end date. We're gonna air out nan 2026-02-04 is today, and this is getting 1970-01-01. Terrific. That's exactly what I wanted. Chef's kiss. But still, today is technically, today would be greater than that. So why is that logic not working anyway? Logic's still not working anyway. Because this should still be greater than this. Let's see. Let's just say, what's end date getting back? Null. Oh wait, never mind. 26-01-30. 26-12-31. That's right. So why is new date getting not a number? Equal to item dot item question mark end date. Okay, now what's going on? Date not a number. Is it because is date technically it is. Oops. Here, end date is not a date. Oh, it's because, but here end date is a date. Interesting. Item dot item end date dot says this is a string. We say dot start date. Yeah, it says this is a string. What if we said const date int date string is equal to we'll say item to item question mark dot end date. Say end date string. Okay. And we can just go ahead and comment this out for now. So now our end date string is 2. Is it because of the slashes? Does it not like the slashes? Like, is that really it? Dot replace. Is that its problem? We need to replace all. Maybe that's its problem. We could do like a global thing there, but I don't really care. Okay. Now what if we say new date? Now what if we did this? That end date, whoops. End date is equal to this. New date with this. Thank you for that. Now it's working. Okay. So if we close out of this, open up Freedom Tracker, that goal is gone because it expired basically. Then if we go back into goals in our mocks, and then doesn't matter what the start date is, 2026 0204. Then let's say that the end date is 12 or 4:30 or something, and save this. Then we might need to refresh to like really get the data back. Now it's back because it hasn't expired. Cool. Okay, y'all. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. This is basically everything I want to work on in this specific like video that I'm uploading, video 4. So on Friday, what I'll probably go ahead and do is make a new branch and start working off of this video 4 branch, or make a branch based off this branch and then start working on that. But that's gonna go ahead and do it for this stream. I know it's gonna be a little bit of a shorter stream, but I kind of got everything I wanted done today, and I don't want to start anything new with only like 10 minutes left. So thank you all for stopping by. Thank you all for watching the VOD if you got to this point. Hope you have a great day. See you all on Friday stream, and peace out, y'all.
Standing in the cold, cold rain, I don't even feel the pain. Anything to step away. I know we could both do better. Wish you would've left me here. Now I'm just controlled by fear. What's the point in our reflection if you never look in the mirror? setting fire to my brain, wondering how I'm to blame. You're the one who doesn't dream, so why are you always sleeping? I remember when you said you're afraid of what's ahead. What happened to ride or die? I asked and you just start crying. How are you acting so surprised?